Alright, well, Marvel Studios just had its big boy panel over at San Diego Comic-Con in Hall H, where they made a whole bunch of announcements and confirmed some release dates and some other information about some upcoming titles, so I'm going to kind of go over everything that I know of and that I've been able to get a hold of as it's coming out, because this did just happen, so I might not have all of the information, but I got as much as I was able to. So if you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content. So for starters, they confirmed that Phase 4 of the MCU is officially over with the release of Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which does release in November of this year. So Phase 4 ends with Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and then they announced Phase 5 for us. So these are all of the Phase 5 titles that they announced. So Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, February 17th, 2023. Secret Invasion Disney Plus series, Spring 2023. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, May 5th, 2023. Echo Disney Plus series, Summer 2023. Loki Season 2, Summer 2023. The Marvels, July 2023. Blade, November 3rd, 2023. An Ironheart Disney Plus series, Fall 2023. Agatha Coven of Chaos series, Winter 2023. Daredevil Born Again Disney Plus series, Spring 2024. Captain America New World Order, May 3rd, 2024, and then the Thunderbolts movie, which is July 2024. So that is all of Phase 5, and then they also did cover a little bit of Phase 6, and what they talked about for Phase 6 were 3 movies, so Fantastic Four being the first movie in November 2024, and then the 2 Avengers movies, which is Avengers The Kang Dynasty in May 2025, and Avengers Secret Wars in November 2025. So 2 Avengers movies in 2025. Now, I'm not going to say that's not going to happen, but I think they did have an original setup like that for Infinity War and Endgame, so if they're not in the same year, they could be a year apart from each other, depending on what happens, obviously. So now I'll go over some of the info that was revealed for certain projects as well. So we got a new trailer for She-Hulk, which comes out August 17th, which I will try my best to break down, but there's a lot of information and a lot of stuff going on right now. But the most important thing for me for She-Hulk, at least for me, like I said, is at the end of the trailer, we have the official return of Daredevil in this series, played by Charlie Cox, so I can't wait to see that. We then got a new trailer for Black Panther Wakanda Forever, which was incredibly powerful in my opinion, and it made me have so much faith in the direction that they're going in based on the trailer. And in the trailer, we saw glimpses of Namor the Submariner, which is like Marvel's Aquaman, more or less. And then we saw Riri Williams' Ironheart as well. Riri Williams is a genius teenager who develops her own Iron Man-like suit and goes by Ironheart in the comics. So then footage was shown off for Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania, where apparently they showed off Kang the Conqueror, and they also confirmed that MODOK will appear in the movie as well. So MODOK is an acronym which stands for Mental Organism Designed Only for Killing, and he is a villain that has an enormous head, and he floats around on like this chair, and he also has telepathy and telekinetic type abilities. Apparently footage was shown off for the Secret Invasion Disney Plus series, which confirmed that Don Cheadle will be reprising his role as War Machine. Footage was shown off for Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3, which confirmed the High Evolutionary to be a villain in the movie, and will also have Baby Rocket in it based on the footage that was shown apparently, which makes me personally think that we'll get a flashback to Rocket's origin with the High Evolutionary. So in Marvel Comics, the High Evolutionary is this kind of crazed scientist who at one point developed powers to evolve creatures or beings that he basically wants to. He presumably, in my opinion, made Rocket the way he is in the MCU based off of all the information that we have, but that's currently just my opinion. So Daredevil Born Again will be a Disney Plus series with Charlie Cox obviously returning, as well as Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, and apparently it'll be a whopping 18 episodes, 1-8, which is absolutely insane to me given their current MCU Disney Plus series formula of only 6 episodes, maybe 10, depending on which one, but I am not mad at this change whatsoever. So that's all the bigger information that I am aware of that was revealed for these specific properties, but I will briefly go over all the titles again, just to briefly explain either what's going on with the movie or the series itself, or what its comic book counterpart is like, so you might know what to expect. So, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania Quantumania is the third Ant-Man film and will have them spending much more time in the quantum realm, with Jonathan Majors returning from the Loki series to play Kang the Conqueror, who's going to be the main villain. And he also seems he's going to be the main villain of the multiverse saga, as the title of one of the Avengers movies suggests, because it's called Avengers: The Kang Dynasty. Secret Invasion is a story based on the comic counterpart where Skrulls had basically secretly infiltrated the superhero community, and essentially a war broke out with the heroes trying to figure out who was a Skrull and who was not. I personally don't think it will be as big as the comic book counterpart story was, but I am definitely open to be proven wrong on this one because I'm interested to see where they go with it. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 will have the Guardians returning with new characters such as the High Evolutionary, whom I already partially explained, and then Adam Warlock as well, who is played by Will Poulter. Adam Warlock is a pretty important figure in Marvel Comics, and he also has played a huge role in the original Infinity Gauntlet and Infinity Wars stories, so I'm definitely excited to see his MCU debut. Echo is a Disney Plus series who will follow the character Maya Lopez, who is played by Alaqua Cox, and has already been in the Hawkeye Disney Plus series. So Daredevil and Kingpin are also rumored, at least, to be in this series as well. They were not confirmed yet. Loki Season 2 obviously picks up with the end of Season 1, although I don't know much information out about Loki Season 2 specifically right now, although we obviously know that Kang is taken over, just as a ruler in certain timelines based off of the ending of Season 1. And then The Marvels is the sequel to Captain Marvel and is titled as such to represent all of the characters who will appear in the movie with the name Marvel, quote-unquote, in their superhero name, at least how it was originally in the comics. So this will include, obviously, Carol Danvers as Captain Marvel, Iman Vellani as Miss Marvel, and Teyana Paris as Spectrum, who appeared in WandaVision. Most older people will probably be more familiar with Blade because of the old-school movies with Wesley Snipes, but he is now being played by Mahershala Ali. So in the comics, Blade himself is a vampire who hunts other vampires or otherworldly beings and has been associated with the Midnight Suns, like how Moon Knight has also been associated with the Midnight Suns, so is Doctor Strange and so on. And if you couldn't tell, I'm giving an extremely brief Cliff Notes versions of these characters simply because there is a lot of information that I'm trying to get out right now without making this extremely long. So Ironheart is a series that will follow Riri Williams' character, played by Dominique Thorne, who I also already mentioned and will appear in Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. Agatha Coven of Chaos is a Disney Plus series that will follow Agatha Harkness, played by Kathryn Hahn, after the events of WandaVision, and this series also got a rebrand because it was originally called Agatha House of Harkness, but now it is, like I said, Agatha Coven of Chaos. And then Daredevil Born Again will be an 18-episode Disney Plus series starring Charlie Cox as Daredevil and Vincent D'Onofrio as Kingpin, who we have already seen in both Spider-Man No Way Home and Hawkeye, respectively. We will also see Daredevil again at some point in the She-Hulk series releasing next month based on the new trailer that we just got as well. Captain America New World Order was announced with little to no information as far as I can tell, but obviously Anthony Mackie will return to reprise his role as Sam Wilson, Captain America. And if you want my opinion, New World Order, like that phrase, gives me kind of the vibes of this comic book story called Secret Empire, which followed a Hydra version of Steve Rogers, who had replaced the real one as he essentially started to control the world. So obviously it would not be that story one for one, as it never is, but New World Order just kind of gives me that kind of vibe, so we'll see where they take that. So Thunderbolts is a team in Marvel Comics that is comprised of bad guys, and it's kind of like a bad Avengers team, but not exactly, because I don't want to say they're a bad Avengers team because there is another team called the Dark Avengers, but we can most definitely expect characters to show up like John Walker's U.S. Agent, played by Wyatt Russell, Abomination, played by Tim Roth, and then Baron Zemo, played by Daniel Bruhl as well. So the Fantastic Four, I'm sure most people are familiar with the Fantastic Four at this point. They've had multiple iterations in movies and stuff. But this superhero team is regularly known as Marvel's First Family and is made up of Johnny Storm as the Human Torch, Ben Grimm as the Thing, Sue Storm as the Invisible Woman, and Reed Richards as Mr. Fantastic. Their main villain that is associated with them for the most part is one of the greatest Marvel villains, Victor Von Doom, also known as Dr. Doom. Reed and Sue also have two children in the comics, Franklin and Valeria Richards, where Franklin is a mutant and can warp reality on a scale so incredible he is considered one of the strongest Marvel characters, honestly. At one point, there's in a story, instead of being the Herald of Galactus, Galactus actually becomes the Herald of Franklin Richards himself. So it's just Franklin Richards. I'm very excited to see if they bring him in. And then finally, our two Avengers movies, Avengers the Kang Dynasty and Avengers Secret Wars, which is the culmination people have been speculating about ever since Endgame, and was given more fuel to the fire with the information coming out of Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. So in the comics, Secret Wars is a story that, at its heart, is about the characters of Reed Richards and Doctor Doom, but the story itself involves the multiverse collapsing and Doom basically salvaging some people left and creating a new world for the survivors. And on this new world, Doctor Doom basically acts as God. So on this world, there are heroes from different universes that are present, which could be Marvel's way of getting more cameos in if they so choose. So this could be, I'm not saying they will, but it could be their excuse to bring back Tobey Maguire as Spider-Man again, or maybe even something as crazier like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine, if they really wanted to. Again, nothing has been said, but that would be the movie to do it, in my opinion. So as far as I can tell, that wraps up all of the announcements that were made at San Diego Comic-Con 2022. Their animation panel was yesterday, and I made a separate video on that. And Phase 4 through 6 is definitely looking like it's going to be really, really good. And I should also mention that they mentioned only 3 movies for Phase 6, but there was a lot of more empty dates for Phase 6 that I think they're honestly saving. There is a D23 Expo in September, so we can probably expect more announcements then. And I definitely think that they were holding out on some like potential X-Men announcements and stuff for Phase 6, but obviously that remains to be seen. But comment down below if you are excited for the rest of the MCU up through Phase 6. And if you enjoyed this video today, feel free to like and subscribe for future Marvel content, and I appreciate you for watching the video.